4 years ago, I took a massive gamble and sold up my house and everything else that I owned and bought a narrowboat. And I've done all this without ever setting foot on one before. So come along with me and see how I got on. We're starting our journey today at the bottom of the 9 locks at Napton, and we're heading for one of the most popular places on the Canal network, Braunston. Hurry up, hop on with me. Still got room for a few more. And I hope you've brought your raincoats, because we've had some atrocious weather lately. Wind and rain, which is the worst kind for living on the towpath, I'd say. And this time of the year, you're starting to see a lot of hire boats about and people taking their holidays. And I feel really sorry for them, because the weather that we've been having lately is enough to turn them off a narrowboating for life. But I've got a feeling in my water that it's all going to change today. We're going to have a lovely cruise. I've been over this part of the canal before and it is gorgeous. So you're in for a bit of a treat today. Bye bye Napton. I don't know if I'll ever see you again. Have you noticed, despite the weather, all the plant life's coming back, which is encouraging. It's a whole different world down here. Everywhere else you look, people are rushing to get back to their homes. But doing this, you take your home with you. I can think of a couple of creatures that do that. Tortoises and snails. And they're both slow, like narrowboats. Half the time, I don't even know what day of the week it is. You do have to give up a few of your creature comforts that you have indoors or when I was in a house. But this freedom and countryside out here, to me, more than makes up for it. Did I tell you that my daughter Claire and her partner Alan bought a narrowboat in September and have been living on it ever since? So they see what it was like out here, and I think they're going to have a piece of it for themselves. I'll see if I can get them to film the boat and I'll show you what it looks like. It's a nice boat. They bought it on the Aitch Canal up in Cheshire. I think it's Cheshire. And they brought it down to the River Stalt because they've still got to go to work, and that's like a local area where they can get to their work. But yeah, they're loving it. For those of you that haven't seen my last couple of vlogs, I'm running off of a jerry can instead of a fuel tank because the fuel tank's contaminated somehow. So I have to keep stopping every now and again to fill the jerry can up. I'm on my way to a boatyard to get it sorted out. The name of this narrowboat made me laugh. My two grandsons, when they come to visit, I chuck all the untidy stuff up into my bedroom and shut the door and don't let them in. And they keep saying to me, "Grandad, you've got a lady stuck in there." The chance would be a fine thing. Braunston, where we're headed, is one of my favourite places on the canal system that I've been to. Not only looks beautiful, but it's got a lovely feel about the place. So I'm really looking forward to getting there. Plus I've got to buy some paint for repainting Aitch, and that'll give me a chance to buy some there. As we come out from under this bridge, if you look to the right, that's Napton Narrowboats. It's like a hire company. But the boats they've got there are in really good nick. Some of the best that I've seen for hire boats. The only other company that I've seen with boats as smart as these was on the Ashby Canal. I think they was called the Ashby Canal Company, but you'd have to correct me on that if I'm wrong. Just on the other side of this boat coming up, there's a bit of Armco that's just big enough to get a narrowboat on. And I'm going to pull over there because this wind and rain is getting a little bit too much at the moment. And I need to check the jerry can, see how much fuel I got in there and refill it. The side wind's blowing me over there a bit fast. You'd be surprised how much that wind affects a 15-ton narrowboat, but it does. We got over here, not in the most graceful fashion I'd say, but it'll do. I've left the nappy pins tied to the mooring ropes from when I was last moored up. I'm hoping just to clip them into the Armco and it'll save a bit of faffing about. And it seems to have worked. What a clever old boy. Just dropping the fenders in place. The wind seems to have died down. Still like a bit of a quagmire in some places on the towpath. And we're off again. Just seen another boat coming towards me round that bend, so I'll have to get over to the right a bit sharpish. Wonders never cease, it's actually brightening up a bit out here. So it's looking like a perfect day for cruising. Coming up on the left here is something that's going to be interesting for future vlogs that I'm going to be putting out. It's the turn off for the Grand Union Canal, which I'm going to be taking after I've gone to the boatyard and had the work done that I need doing on Aitch. I've seen two names for this area, Napton Junction and Wigram's Turn. And if you go up there, that takes you up towards Warwick and Stratford upon Avon, places like that I want to visit. But first I've got to do the 10 miles or so to the boatyard, get the work done, and then do the 10 miles or so back. And you can see the pace that I go, so that 20-25 miles is going to take a while. This boat on the left went past me this morning as I was casting off. But it looks like they're stopping for a bit of lunch and a cup of tea. Very civilised. When the weather helps out a bit, it's a lovely way to live. There's another one of these bridges that creeps up on you around a bend. It's all very quaint looking. I wonder what kind of scenery we're going to get when we come through this bridge. That lorry made me jump. Look at that. And we're going to get a lovely panoramic view as we come round this bend. Gorgeous. You do get some beautiful examples of the English countryside around here. Looks like even Ashby's loving it. Enjoying yourself, boy? Good boy. Here's one of them smart hire boats. Some of these boats have the weirdest names. Ethel Fidget. Now I wonder where that comes from. If if I ever moved back to an house, I could do a lot worse than getting one there where this one is. Cracking little area. Seems flat on the left and rolling hills on the right. Funny how things like that happen. Probably something to do with this canal following the contours. I'm going to have to start knocking the speed down to tick over with these moored boats coming up. I'm going to shake them all about. My average cruising speed is slow anyway, but I still like to have good manners. I know what it's like when they fly past you. These boats are tied up to Armco, but if you're on mooring pins, I've actually seen it a few times when boats go flying past and they pull all the mooring pins out. I've had to help a few people pull them back to the banks and things like that. Looks like another boat is gaining on me, so I'm going to have to pull over soon, no doubt, and let them past. That's the problem with filming stuff as well. I'm concentrating on what's out there, I'm going slow and trying to film bits and pieces, and you sort of hold people up, so you're better off letting them go. Everyone's happy then. I can take my time and film stuff, and they can crack on to wherever they're going. I've just noticed something that I haven't seen for ages coming up in front of us. Can you see it? Yeah, it's a wide beam. That tells you that the locks are bigger here, or twice as wide, so that they can get access to this part of the canal. I think this part of the canal is the Grand Union. I know it links the North Oxford and the South Oxford, but yeah, I think it's still classed as the Grand Union. What's that sign say on the bridge? The Old Olive Bush pub. Anyone ever been there? Anyone that's watching? Leave a comment and tell us what it's like. I'll be interested to know. Yeah, going back to the size of the locks, all the Grand Union that I've been on, coming up from London, there was big double locks. So I would imagine that it stays the same all the way up to the Birmingham area. But I'm not sure. I've just waved that boat that was catching me up to come by.
Yeah, they were doing too much talking on the back.
no problem. You too. Lovely day though, isn't it? They all seem very happy to be out here, which is lovely. I like to see people enjoying themselves. After all, that's what life's all about, if you get a chance. It's no good going around miserable, is it? Who wants to be miserable? Then again, I have come across a few miserable so-and-sos in my life, and I don't think they'll ever change. I think they're happy being miserable, some people. If you can be. I'm starting to worry about how much fuel is left in that jerry can. So, when I get a chance soon, I think I'm going to pull over and have a look. I know of a nice little mooring, not too far away, opposite these permanent moorings. So I'm going to pull in now. Well, this is where we ended up for a couple of nights, and Ashby's marking his new territory out right in front of Flossy Dole Rags, another lovely name. We've not got far to go now to Braunston. Just one last little push and we're there. I'm hoping that you've stuck with me and you're still on the back here and you're all nice and relaxed and enjoying yourselves. I bet you think I've gone mad saying things like that, don't you? But no, that's the way I set it up, so that it looks like you're on the back of the boat with me, and that you can see everything that I see from the same position. The only problem is you've got to put up with me keep parroting and spoiling all the peace. I think that's the problem with me living on my own. I end up taking all my verbiage out on you lot. And I do feel sorry for you sometimes when I get going. But only for a little while. This bridge coming up in front of us, there's a set of steps going up on the left into the most beautiful fields and countryside. Me and Ashby was here in the middle of summer. We used to both love going up there. Ashby was a pup at the time. You couldn't hardly see him under the long grass, but yeah, he loved it. So did I. I can't remember what number video it was, but if you want to see up there and what it's like, have a look through my back catalogue and you'll find it. Looks like we've been blessed with another nice day, but then again, for the weather that we've had, any day that's not howling a gale and pouring with rain, I'm thinking it's a nice day. But yeah, this is quite a nice day. And I'm going to pull up onto one of these kind of wild moorings just before I get into Braunston, because I'm not sure that once I get through the bridges in front of us there, that there's going to be any moorings on the Armco. Last time I was here, it was always packed around here, so I'm not going to take the chance. Looks like I'm not going to get close in to the towpath, and I'll have to get the gangplank out and bang in some mooring pins. And hope that another boat doesn't speed past and pull all the pins out. But we should be okay. I usually take you around and show you all the villages that I've been to, but I've already showed you this one, Braunston, and it is a beautiful village. I do love this narrowboating. Where else would you get to live in places like this? Wonderful. If you want to help my little channel out, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And for those of you that are still here, thanks for coming along with me and Ash. We've enjoyed your company, and come along next time.